Video 2, Week 3, Making a Platform Game. Before we start, I'd like you to download your files from Moodle. You'll find them in the Week 3 tab. Okay, so I'm going to make a new project. I'm going to keep it relatively small. I'm going to make this viewport. Now remember, this is the viewport, so this is the size that you see it on the screen. 640 by 430 is a bit small, so I'm going to make it 1000 pixels wide and 500 high, 25:1. So long and thin. Let's make it a bit bigger, 600. Going to optimize it for pixel art, and I'm going to call this Trump platform. It's Trump against the zombies or the mummies. I haven't decided yet, so let's create. So what we have here is we have the dotted line represents the viewport. And then on the right hand side here we have our layout. So I'm going to rename all of these before we start. I'm going to call this level 1. And I'm going to call this event sheet the main event sheet. We're going to have more than one event sheet because we need to go between different levels and we need to have different screens, but this is a good start. And then we're going to go through our project properties and just make everything is right. We're going to work on the 32 by 32 grid. I'm going to put my name in here. Check my viewpoint size. Now the full screen mode, if you noticed in the first video, it was a bit jumpy because it's on the integer scale. If you just do letterbox scale, the zooming is a lot better when you resize the game on your screen. And then full screen quality low. Let's get that high, shall we? So landscape orientation, pixel rounding is for 8-bit. So that's good. And then you'll notice down here, it gives you some notes on the different areas which you click on. I'm going to use a loader just in case our files get quite big. And then the first layout is level 1. We're going to leave that at the moment, but we might change it later on. And we're actually going to change the background color of the layout to being transparent in a minute. Okay, so let's go back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a whole bunch of layers down here because I want to be able to have a parallax effect when my player is playing on the jumping on the different platforms, and I want to be able to organize different levels of graphics so my player can run behind things and in front of things. So my main layer here, I'm going to call this the game layer where the action happens. And then I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to call this background. And another layer, I'm going to call this graphics. This could be things like trees and eye candy that's on the screen. And I'm going to add a layer on the top. I'm going to call this user interface, or UI for short. This is where we're going to put the score and everything else. And we have to remember that when we're working between layers, we need to make sure that things are locked off, so we put the graphics in the right place. However, if I have a solid tile map platform on one layer and the player on the other, he'll still jump on it. So it's not that critical, but it is relatively critical. So let's go through some of these and just make sure the layers, we're able to see between the layers. So UI, that's transparent, that's good. Game, I'm going to make that transparent. And background is transparent. And graphics, I'm just going to put a white background for the moment. And then I'm going to save my project. I've got a whole bunch of games which I've already made, but I'm going to call this Trump Platform Student version. You can use your name on yours that you hand in on the Moodle page and just save. Okay, let's go to the next stage.